The moon of Virel 9 was quiet most days. It was a mining colony far from any major trade route. The sky was always gray, the wind dry, and the underground tunnels echoed with the hum of machinery. The workers were mostly aliens, strong and skilled, trained to survive the harsh surface. Very few humans ever came this far. Kira was part of the emergency response crew. Her skin was silver blue, her hair tied back tightly, and her sharp eyes always alert. She had seen many injuries, fires, even gas leaks, but nothing prepared her for the sound that ripped through the colony that day. Boom! The ground shook as Sector 12 exploded. Dust and fire flew up into the air. Lights flickered. Alarms screamed through the halls of the outpost. Kira didn't wait for orders. She grabbed her gear and sprinted toward the danger. She passed, others running the opposite way. "It's too unstable," someone shouted. "The structure is falling apart." But Kira didn't stop. Somewhere in that smoke, someone could still be alive. She reached the outer edge of the wreckage. Pieces of metal were scattered everywhere. Flames licked up from broken pipes. The entrance to Sector 12 was blocked by a collapsed wall. She scanned the area, searching. Then, movement. A low groan came from under the rubble. Kira rushed toward it, pulling away pieces of stone and broken panels. Her hands burned from the heat, but she kept going. And then she saw him. A man. Human. He was unconscious, half buried, a cut across his forehead, and a broken metal beam across his legs. His clothes were torn and covered in dust, but his face, it was peaceful, almost calm. Kira stared for a moment. What was a human doing here? She knelt beside him and checked for signs of life. His pulse was strong, though his breathing was shallow. "You're lucky," she whispered. "Very lucky." With effort, she pulled the beam off his legs. It made a loud clanging sound as it hit the ground. She carefully lifted him into her arms. He was heavier than she expected, but her people were strong. She didn't look back. The way back was hard. The ground shook again and smoke burned her eyes. But Kira moved fast. When she reached the med bay, the doctors rushed over. They took him from her arms and placed him on a scan table. "Who is he?" one of the medics asked. "No idea," Kira said, still breathing hard. "He's human. Found him in Sector 12. "There shouldn't be any humans on Virel 9, the medic said, confused. "I know," Kira replied. "But he was there, and he saved himself somehow." Later that night, Kira sat by the window in the observation room. The stars outside were distant, like cold pinpricks in a black sky. Her mind kept going back to that man. Why had he been here? Why had no one known? She went back to the med bay. The human was awake now, sitting up on the bed, a bandage across his head. He looked at her as she entered, eyes calm, but guarded. "You're the one who found me," he said. "Yes," she replied. "You were lucky." He gave a small smile. "I've heard that before." "What's your name?" she asked. "Matt," he said. "And you?" "Kira." There was a pause between them, something unspoken. "You're not supposed to be here," Kira said finally. "This moon is closed to humans." "I didn't mean to cause trouble," Matt said softly. "I was just looking for something." Kira frowned. "In the middle of a mining zone?" He didn't answer that. Instead, he looked down at his hands, then out the window. "You're hiding something," she said, not as a question, but a fact. Matt looked up. "Maybe, but I didn't come to harm anyone, I promise." She studied him for a long moment. Then, without saying more, she turned and left the room. Something wasn't right, and Kira was going to find out what. Kira couldn't stop thinking about Matt. Something about him didn't make sense. He was too calm for someone who had survived a deadly explosion. He didn't ask many questions, didn't panic, and didn't seem injured, except for the small cut on his forehead. It had already started healing faster than normal. Early the next morning, Kira returned to the med bay. Matt was no longer in bed. She found him standing near the wide observation window, dressed in fresh clothes. His back was straight, arms crossed, eyes locked on the gray surface of Varel 9. "You're up early," she said, stepping into the room. "I couldn't sleep," Matt replied, not turning around. "This place, it's quiet, but I can feel something under it, like the moon still moving." Kira walked up beside him. "That's just aftershocks. They happen sometimes after a cave-in." Matt finally looked at her. "No, this is something else." Kira raised an eyebrow. "You speak like a miner, but you're not on any of the records, and you're definitely not cleared to be here." He gave her a small smile. "I didn't use the front door." She folded her arms. "That's not funny. People died in Sector 12 yesterday. You could have died too." "I know," he said quietly. "But I needed to be there. I was looking for something, and I think it found me instead." Kira didn't like his answer. She was trained to spot danger, chemical leaks, faulty machines, and unstable walls. But this was different. Matt was human, yes, but there was something strange in his energy, something hard to explain. Before she could ask more, the room shook again. A low rumble came from beneath their feet. Lights flickered. A siren gave one short beep and stopped. Kira pressed her earpiece. "Control report," a voice responded, full of static. "Another shift near the central shaft. No major damage, we're watching it." Kira glanced at Matt. He didn't seem surprised. "You knew that was coming," she said. Matt didn't answer. He simply nodded. "How?" she asked. "You're not a miner. You're not a scientist. Who are you really?" Matt looked down, then sighed. "I can feel the vibrations before they reach the surface. I don't know why. I've just always been able to." "That's not normal," Kira said firmly. "I'm not normal," he replied. "I've known that since I was a child." Kira stayed quiet for a moment. The moon outside looked calm, but inside the station, things were shifting, literally and metaphorically. "There's a team going down to check the central shaft," she said. "I'm leading it. If you're really that connected to the moon, you're coming with us." Matt blinked. "You want me to help?" "I want to know the truth," Kira said. "And I don't trust waiting anymore." Later that afternoon, Kira suited up and joined a small group of responders. Matt followed, suited in protective gear. The lift carried them down, creaking as it dropped deeper into the tunnels. As they moved through the central shaft, Matt's steps slowed. He touched the walls as if he could hear something in them. "There's a chamber below," he said. "It's not on your maps." Kira's second-in-command, a tall insectoid named Varun, looked at her. "He's guessing?" "No," Kira said. "Let's check it." They followed Matt's directions, moving down a side tunnel partially blocked by fallen rocks. It took time to clear, but when they did, a hidden path revealed itself. They found a sealed door covered in strange marks. Not human, not any known alien script either. Matt stepped forward. The closer he got, the more the markings started to glow faintly, just for a moment. The team fell silent. "Kira," Varun whispered. "What is he?" Kira stared at Matt, her heart beating faster. "That's what I intend to find out." Matt turned around. "I didn't lie to you. I really don't know where this comes from, but it's been part of me for a long time." As he stood there in front of the glowing door, something inside Kira shifted. This wasn't just about a mining accident anymore. Something bigger had just begun. The hidden door did not open that day. Kyra and her team tried everything: tools, scanners, even calling Central Command. But the strange door in the tunnel wouldn't move, and only Matt could make the symbols glow. Command told them to seal, off the tunnel and report back later. But Kira didn't forget it. That door, those symbols, and Matt's strange ability, none of it made sense. Yet she felt deep down that it meant something important. 3 days later, another emergency call shook the station. A group of engineers was trapped in Tunnel 9 after a deep shaft collapsed. The scanners showed unstable ground and falling oxygen levels. The rescue team had to move fast, or the workers would not survive. Kira was chosen to lead again. She gathered her gear and prepared for the descent. As she passed through the hall, she saw Matt waiting near the equipment lockers. "You're going again?" he asked. "Yes," she said. "We don't have time. People are trapped." Matt hesitated. "Let me come with you." Kira looked at him carefully. "Why?" "I can feel the weak points underground," he said. "I can guide you safely. I know I can help." She studied his face. He didn't look afraid. He looked determined. After a long pause, she nodded. "Fine. But stay close to me. One mistake and we both fall." Matt geared up quickly. Soon the rescue team entered the lower levels of the station and headed toward Tunnel 9. The path was dangerous. Cracks in the walls, broken support beams, and small tremors shaking the ground. Inside the tunnel, thick dust filled the air. The lights flickered. Every step felt like walking through a trap. Kira's team moved carefully, but progress was slow. Suddenly, Matt stopped. He pressed his palm against the tunnel wall. "Don't go forward," he said. "The floor is ready to collapse." "How do you know?" asked Varun, the insectoid team member. Matt pointed at the wall. "Listen." Everyone went quiet. Then they heard it. Soft cracking sounds like glass under pressure. Kira gave the signal. The team took a different path, climbing across a narrow side channel. It was risky, but they trusted Matt now. After more crawling and climbing, they reached a collapsed section. Behind the rubble, a faint signal came through, a weak voice over the comms. "We hear you," Kira shouted. "We're coming in." The team began digging. Time passed quickly. Matt used his strange sense to guide them, warning them where to place support beams or avoid shifting rocks. Finally, after what felt like hours, they broke through. 4 workers were huddled together in a small pocket of space, tired and scared, but alive. Cheers filled the comms as Kira helped the first worker out. "You saved us," one of the workers whispered to Matt, staring at him with wide eyes. Matt gave a small smile. "Not alone. It was all of us." With the mission complete, the team slowly climbed back up. But halfway through, another tremor hit. The tunnel shook hard. Rocks fell from above. Kira stumbled, but Matt grabbed her arm just in time, pulling her back to safety. A heavy beam cracked loose and fell toward them. Without thinking, Matt pushed Kira down and shielded her with his own body. The beam hit his back and rolled to the side. Dust filled the air again. Kira coughed and sat up. "Matt, are you hurt?" He groaned but nodded. "I'm fine, just bruised." She looked at him carefully. His face was pale. Sweat ran down his temple. "You took the full hit," she said. "We need to check for wounds." He tried to wave her off, but she reached for his suit. "Don't argue." She pulled back the top of his protective shirt, looking for bleeding, and that's when she saw it. Something on his chest. She froze. It wasn't a wound. It was a symbol, smooth, sharp, and glowing faintly under his skin. Lines of energy moved, like veins across his chest, forming a strange pattern. Kira couldn't speak for a moment. Matt looked at her, breathing hard. "Now you see." Her voice came out in a whisper. "What are you?" Matt didn't answer. His eyes, calm and serious, held hers, and in that quiet space underground, Kira realized this man was not just a survivor. He was something else entirely. Kira's heart pounded as she stared at the strange symbol glowing on Matt's chest. It wasn't a tattoo or a scar. It looked like it was part of his body, something not natural, something not human. The soft light pulsed slowly, as if it had a heartbeat of its own. Matt didn't try to cover it. He sat still, breathing hard but calm, as if he had been waiting for this moment. Kira took a step back. "What is that?" Matt looked down at the mark. "It's not something I chose. It was placed there, years ago." "By who?" Kira asked. "I don't know their name. I was very young. I only remember a dark room, voices I couldn't understand, and pain. When I woke up, it was there." Kira's mind raced. She had seen alien technology, strange devices, and many kinds of genetic experiments, but nothing like this. You said you were looking for something. Was it this? Matt nodded. I didn't understand what the symbol was until recently, but I knew it reacted to something on this moon. That's why I came. Kira sat down beside him. The tunnel was quiet now. The tremor had passed, and the others were helping the rescued workers return to the surface. For now, it was just her and Matt in the dust-covered chamber. Does it hurt? She asked, her voice soft. Sometimes, he said. When I get close to certain places underground, it burns, like it's waking up. Kira thought back to the glowing door they had found earlier. The strange symbols on it were similar in shape to the mark on Matt's chest. I think that door was reacting to you, she said. Matt nodded again. I think it's connected. Whatever is hidden beneath this moon, I was meant to find it. But why you? Kira asked. You're human. Matt gave a small smile. Not completely. She stared at him. What do you mean? He looked away for a moment. My body is human, but this symbol, it changed me. I can sense vibrations, energy, even weak points in structures. I never told anyone. People would fear me. Or worse, try to use me. Kira stayed silent. She could see the truth in his eyes. He wasn't lying. He had risked everything, his life, his freedom, to come to this moon and discover what this mark meant. And now he had saved her life and others. You're not a danger, are you? She asked. No, he said firmly. I don't want to hurt anyone. I just want to understand what I am. Kira stood up and offered him her hand. Then, let's find out together. Matt took her hand and smiled, just a little. By the time they returned to the surface, the news had already spread. The workers were safe, and Matt was the hero of the day, but not everyone saw it that way. Commander Rowan, the station's leader, waited for them near the entrance bay. He was tall, strict, and didn't like surprises. A human who shouldn't be here, Rowan said coldly. And now he's leading my teams into hidden tunnels. Kira stepped forward. He saved lives. Without him, we wouldn't have made it back. Rowan's eyes narrowed. That doesn't change the fact that he entered this base without permission. I brought him, Kira said. If you're going to question someone, question me too. Rowan looked between them, then gave a slow nod. You'll both report to command tomorrow. We'll see what Central Control says about this. As he walked away, Matt turned to Kira. I didn't mean to cause problems. Kira shook her head. You didn't. You did the right thing, and now we know you're connected to something bigger. Matt touched his chest where the symbol still glowed faintly under his shirt. I think that door is calling to me, he said. And whatever's behind it, it might explain everything. Kira looked out across the surface of Varel 9. The wind howled softly, kicking up dust across the cold ground. Then we'll go back, she said, and next time we'll open it. Kira spent the night sitting in her room thinking about everything she had seen. The hidden door, the glowing mark on Matt's chest, and his strange connection to the moon. The more she thought about it, the clearer it became. Matt was not an ordinary human. He was part of something much bigger. The next morning, Kira and Matt were called into Commander Rowan's office. The room was cold, metal walls lined with digital screens. Rowan sat behind his desk, arms folded, his expression unreadable. We spoke to Central Command, Rowan said. Your presence here, Matt, is a serious violation. But the workers you saved spoke highly of you. And Kira believes you have valuable skills. Matt nodded calmly. I only want to help. Rowan tapped a button on his desk. A screen lit up showing scans of Matt's body. The glowing mark on his chest was clearly visible. What is this? Rowan asked. Matt looked at the image. It's not human technology. I think it's alien or something ancient. It was placed in me when I was a child. I don't know how or why. Kira stepped forward. That symbol reacted to a sealed door we found in the tunnels. It glowed when Matt got near it. It didn't react to anyone else. Rowan leaned back in his chair. If what you're saying is true, then this moon might hold more than just minerals. It's calling to him, Kira added. We need to go back. Rowan was silent for a long moment. Then he nodded. Fine. I'll allow one more expedition, but this time you'll take 2 extra guards with you, and I want live footage sent to command. Later that day, the team prepared to return to the hidden door. Kira, Matt, and a small group of trained guards suited up. As they rode the lift down into the tunnels, the mood was tense. Matt stood quietly, eyes focused ahead. Kira watched him closely. He looked calm, but she could feel something building in him, like pressure beneath the surface. Are you ready? She asked softly. He nodded. I've been waiting my whole life. They reached the sealed door again. The same strange symbols covered its surface, silent and unreadable. Matt stepped forward. As he placed his hand against the door, the symbols began to glow, brighter this time. The ground trembled slightly. Everyone stepped back. The door responded, pulling open slowly with a deep, echoing sound. Dust and old air poured out. A soft light flickered from inside. The chamber beyond was huge. Massive stone walls stretched up into darkness, and strange machines sat silent and covered in dust. It looked ancient, built long before the station was ever placed here. Matt walked slowly inside. He seemed drawn to the center of the room, where a circular platform waited. As he stepped onto it, the mark on his chest glowed brightly, sending waves of soft light through the room. Machines around the chamber began to hum. Lights flickered to life. A soft voice, robotic and calm, spoke in an unknown language. Kira and the guards looked around in awe. What is this place? One of them whispered. Matt turned slowly. I think it's a control room for something buried deep inside this moon. Suddenly, one of the machines lit up with a clear message, translated into galactic standard. Prototype recognized. Activation ready. Kira stared. Prototype? Matt looked down at his chest, then back at the words. I think I was part of a program, he said slowly. A creation, maybe a test. This symbol, it's not just a mark, it's a key. Kira stepped beside him. A key to what? Before Matt could answer, the ground rumbled again, harder this time. A new tremor. One of the walls cracked slightly, and dust rained down from above. The machine started flashing warnings. Energy surge detected. Core awakening. Matt looked at Kira, his eyes serious now. Something is waking up. Kira's voice was steady. Then we need to find out what it is, before it's too late. Together they stared into the heart of the ancient chamber where long-forgotten secrets were finally rising. The ancient chamber was alive now. Lights on the walls blinked. Machines hummed. The floor beneath their feet vibrated with a strange rhythm, like something was moving deep under the surface of the moon. The air felt warmer, heavy. Kira looked around the room, trying to make sense of it all. Dust floated through the light. The machines were waking up after being silent for who knows how long. Hundreds, maybe thousands of years. Matt stood at the center of the platform, the glowing mark on his chest shining brighter than ever. He looked calm on the outside, but Kira could tell something was happening inside him. One of the guards spoke, his voice shaking. Commander Rowan is watching the feed. He wants us to leave now. He says it's too dangerous. Kira shook her head. We can't. Not yet. But this place, it's waking up, the guard said. Matt looked up, his voice steady. It's not trying to hurt us. It's responding to the symbol, to me. I think it was waiting for me. Kira stepped closer. What is this place really, Matt? A control room for what? Matt didn't answer right away. He placed his hand on one of the glowing panels near the edge of the platform. As soon as he touched it, a 3D map lit up in the air above it. It showed the inside of the moon, layers, and tunnels, power sources, and then something deeper. At the core of the moon there was a large circular structure glowing red. Kira stared at it. What is that? Matt's voice was quiet. A reactor. But it's not like anything humans or aliens have built. It's ancient and unstable. A warning flashed across the map. Core overload in progress. Stabilization required. Kira's eyes widened. It's going to explode? Matt nodded slowly. If we do nothing, the energy inside will break out. The whole moon could tear apart. One of the guards stepped back. We need to get out of here now. But Matt shook his head. I can stop it. Kira looked at him sharply. How? He looked down at his chest. The symbol is more than a key. It connects me to this system. It was placed in me for this reason. I can link to the reactor and stabilize it. But will it hurt you? She asked. I don't know, he said. Honestly. But I can't just walk away. Kira felt torn. Every part of her training said to leave, to report this and wait for command. But deep in her heart, she trusted Matt. He had risked his life to save others. And now, he was ready to risk it again. I'll help you, she said. Tell me, what to do? Matt gave a small smile. Stay close. If something goes wrong, I want you to get out. They moved toward another section of the chamber. Matt stepped into a circle surrounded by metal rings. The moment he entered, beams of light scanned his body. A panel lit up in front of him with strange symbols. His mark responded, glowing in perfect sync with the machine. Kira stood nearby, watching as Matt began the process. He moved his hands across the symbols, guided by instinct more than knowledge. The ground shook again, and sparks flew from one of the machines. The core image on the map changed from red to orange. It's working, Kira whispered. Matt groaned suddenly, grabbing his chest. Matt! Kira rushed to him. I'm okay, he said, though sweat covered his face. It's just taking energy from me. The lights pulsed faster now. The map showed the core returning to stable blue. Then silence. The machines powered down slowly. The glow faded. Matt collapsed to his knees. Kira ran to him and held him up. You did it, she said. He smiled weakly. I think I finished what they started. The chamber was quiet again, but different now. Calm. Balanced. The danger had passed. Kira looked at Matt. He was still breathing, but the mark on his chest was fading, like it had used the last of its power. You're not just a prototype, she whispered. You're a protector. Matt closed his eyes and rested his head on her shoulder, and for the first time, Kira felt the moon was truly safe. The chamber was still and quiet now. The machines were silent, the glowing light gone. The ancient power that had threatened to tear the moon apart was gone too, held steady by Matt's strength and the mysterious symbol inside him. Kira helped Matt to his feet. He looked weak, pale, but alive. You did it, she said softly. Matt nodded, breathing slowly. I had to. I couldn't let this place destroy everything. The mark on his chest, once bright and alive, was now almost invisible. Just a faint line beneath his skin. What happens now? Kira asked, her voice low. Matt looked out at the moon's gray surface, visible through the entrance of the chamber. I don't know. I feel different, like something inside me changed. Kira placed a hand on his shoulder. You saved us all. That's what matters. They started back toward the surface, careful and slow. The rescue team and guards waited for them, relief clear on their faces. Commander Rowan met them at the entrance. His expression was unreadable. You have our thanks, he said to Matt. You proved yourself, despite everything. Matt nodded. Thank you. Rowan looked at Kira. You showed good judgment. Kira smiled slightly. He's more than what we thought. Later, Matt was examined by the medics. They found no injuries, but noticed his vital signs were different. His heart, rate steady but slow, and the